This issue of starting with a client is a very interesting one. How do you determine the best place to start? I think the challenge that we sometimes have in being as AdviCoach and being in a franchise coaching business is that sometimes people think that there's a cookie cutter approach to how you might work with a client, and that you're going to follow some process, and at the end of it, everybody's going to pop out the same. Exactly the opposite is the case. When we work with a client, it's really the client that determines where we start. We usually start at least with a discussion of their goals and what they want to achieve, but what comes out of that often are places in the business that really need some immediate help and where we can get some relatively quick impact, either financially or from a standpoint of more time or more efficiency in the business. And so it just depends. For every client, we look at what are those key areas of relatively rapid impact, and how can we sort of address that. The other thing that's very interesting is a lot of times, in fact I would say probably 90% of our work with clients, when we start out, the client often has something on his mind or her mind that's a real issue for them, and it seems to be top of mind. But again, 90% of the time we find within a month or so that that's not the real issue. There's usually something deeper, something more basic and more maybe profound, maybe even more scary for the owner to address that really causes that first thing that we discussed to really be seen as a symptom and not a cause of the issue in the business. So determining where to start is, it's a bit of an art rather than a science. And the good news about that is it becomes very relevant to that business owner. And they don't have to feel like there's some cookie cutter approach that may not really address the issues that they truly have.
How I have shifted away from the features and benefits approach to a more coaching or more kind of a consulting approach. I'm an old copier guy, so features and benefits were really my cup of tea. It's the way we were trained, and for 25 years the way I trained my own sales reps. So one of the things that I've really had to work on, and it's really been impactful in my business, is the new way we talk to, in a conversational tone, our prospective clients. It really helps because they don't feel they're being sold. It's just a conversation over coffee. We're getting their story. They're apt to share more information with us in that type of style. So it's really beneficial to my coaching practice.
I begin the process of really engaging that owner or that leader in a conversation. And that conversation has to go somewhere. But usually it exposes a gap between where that owner is in their business and where they'd like to see themselves in that business. And I really start asking about what that gap is all about, how it impacts them, and how it plays out in their personal life ultimately.
Well, seminars it's a very good platform, to really showcase the customer experience. And what we've done is we've actually changed it to workshops because we like engaging, interactive type of experience. And what's been a really big differentiator for us in our marketplace is there's a lot of competing organizations that give seminars, and all it is a sales pitch for 2 hours. Whereas we really focus on that educational marketing, have them come in, be very interactive, help them personally grow, as well as give them ideas for their business. And then at the end of the seminar, there's no pitch, there's no sales pitch. We follow up after the seminar with any type of marketing or sales, and it's been really well received, and word gets out, you've got to go to this workshop, because you'll get valuable information, you'll get some good tidbits and some tools to use in your business today.